Recording.
Okay. We're recording.
I had to find this. I almost lost it. Da, da, da. It's time for the sideshow. And I haven't made Liz one yet. So Liz eventually will have her own something. I'm gonna, if I have time today, which is a huge if, I'm gonna make Liz one too, so we can be like, wee. Oh my gosh, speaking of laughter, and then we can do introductions. I laughed last night, like a full belly laugh, which apparently I don't do much at home right now. And both Brian and Alexander said, that was a Liz laugh. And I was like, excuse me? I laughed too. Apparently I don't know. I think they thought I had a more sinister, like maniacal laughter, and it sounded like you. I don't know, but
I can do a sinister maniacal laugh.
Okay, welcome to the sideshow, everybody.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
I'm almost remembering how this is supposed to go now.
Well, it's episode 17, I think.
Yeah, I think
17?
so. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I went to our like YouTube page to find links to put in my newsletter, and there's all these videos there. I was like, what? When did that happen?
I tried scrolling through to find out what I've worn in past episodes because, you know, I'm trying not to wear the same thing, and it's getting hard.
It is. Well, usually what helps make your dresses unique in the shop is you layer with different stuff, and people can only see like the top layer right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I scratch with my it's so hard. Okay, I'm Rebecca. I am the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard. Where am I? What? Where I have been stuck for a while. Brevard, North Carolina. And if you're still watching, you've made it to the introductions.
And I'm Liz. I'm the minion at Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina.
Minion from afar.
When I'm allowed to be in the shop.
Now you're allowed to socially distance on the plaza if we're doing a prisoner exchange.
Yes.
Like masks and bread and eggs and things.
Coffee.
And coffee containers. Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. I get fresh coffee today, don't I?
You do.
I rationed my Bernie coffee. For people who are like, what are they talking about? Liz's husband roasts and makes coffee, and it's really good, and now I'm spoiled. And usually Liz brings me coffee like every other day or so when we're working here. And now we're trying to socially distance and keep people home and all that stuff. And I get coffee maybe once a week. I have to make it last.
It would have been twice last week, but I forgot.
It's okay.
It was ready. Bernie had it all ready. And yeah, sorry.
I forgot to make you a doodle because any day I'm here in the shop, and I am thankful for this, I am so busy there's no time to do anything. Like I was going to post a reminder about sit and stitch, virtual sit and stitch, before we did any of this morning. But I had a surprise waiting for me in the shop this morning because we had really bad storms over the weekend and tornadoes south of us and all that kind of stuff, and we survived. And yesterday there wasn't power in the shop. We had been having issues with leaks along the back wall in the shop on occasion when it rained, and we thought they were fixed, and this was going to be our test. The good news is the bathrooms didn't leak. The bad news is there was so much rain last night that I have puddles all over the shop, like over on the other end, not where all the lovely yarn behind me is, but yeah, there's a lot of water in the shop right now. Not flooded. For anyone who's watching this who goes, oh no, my gosh, the shop is all flooded. No, but really big puddles that soaked into the carpet where the teaching table, for those of you who know where the teaching table is. And the art supplies, big, huge puddles over there. The teaching table, the carpet under the teaching table, I just dragged outside so it could dry. and I got water all over myself, which I am carefully masking with this lovely shawl. Look at this. Ta-da! I'll show you guys that later. So yeah, I was already working on a headache too, so I just took some migraine medicine, and we'll see how this goes. So yay Tuesday. So
Yay Tuesday.
Yay Tuesday. So there'll still be knit night tonight. Please join us, virtual sit and stitch. It's the shop phone number, 828-877-3550, 6 to 9 tonight.
Tuesday and Friday for those of you who don't watch us on Tuesday or Friday.
And that 6 to 9 is Eastern time zone. So
Yes.
do the math for yourself, because I can't do it. I'm not good at that. So anyway, so I'm going to try to ignore the hot mess over there and have fun with you all. Because we've been hearing from people. It's been really awesome. That one of the reasons we keep this going, not only does it let Liz and I talk to each other, you know, which is harder to do now, but it helps us reach out to people and make connections. And I mean, that's why I started the shop in the first place, was to create community and to help people and to have, you know, the crafting bond with everybody. And we keep hearing from people outside of our normal bubble down here of people who come. I mean, I've been hearing from them too. It's been like people call on the phone to order yarn, and it's like, it's so good to hear your voice, you know? But I forwarded to Liz an email we got last night, and I have my show notes so I remember. Dawn emailed us last night and sent us this wonderful, heartwarming message about how she feels like she knows us because she's watching the show. And that means so much to us. It was just,
It's so cool.
It was so cool.
When we started this, we were like, well, we'll have like 5 subscribers, and like, you know, just our little regular, you know, group of people will maybe watch us.
Maybe.
And it's so cool. It's so cool to like get new people coming to knit night because, you know, they're watching us, and you know,
shout out to Luann.
Shout
out to Carol Young was someone who just started coming to the shop, and she's watching us from Franklin, a little bit further. No, it's been really
Shia in Mississippi.
Shia, yeah. She's from Mississippi. I want to check in with her tonight. Hopefully she's okay, because they had actual tornadoes when we just had really strong, crazy wind. Yeah. By the way, speaking of that, not only do we have the water in the shop, but part of my sign blew away last night. Shout out to Amy D, who found it for me because she was swinging through town. I've got a big square and then a little circle that says Sun Dragon, and then a little circle that's got my little dragon logo hanging underneath it with 2 little pieces of metal. Those pieces of metal twisted and broke because of the wind down here. So that gives you an idea of what downtown Brevard went through.
Yeah, however, trees down everywhere.
For those of you who know the plaza, though, unless someone came and cleaned up, only 1 chair was knocked over. And all of Quixote's bag of balls, again, that will make no sense if you've not been down here, pretty much all of them are still up. So wow. These are Christmas decorations that looked very tenuous and like they would never stay. They're the ones that are fallen over. I'm looking at them right now over there. Had already fallen over before the storm. One of their potted plants blew over, but I digress. I've gotten distracted. We really want to thank Dawn for the message she sent us, and say we hope you guys are staying safe as you can. Yep. She said she and her husband are truck drivers, so they are still out on the road interacting with far more than they probably want to right now, but they're working hard to get us who are stuck at home things we need. Like, I'm trying to interact with as little as possible right now. I'm going to the post office twice a week. I'm coming in here where I consider it kind of a sealed environment for the most part, as infrequently as I can. I went to the bank today, and having to touch stuff, I'm not like the tubes and everything. I was like, nah, and I came home and washed my hands. So shout out to them for all that they're doing, Dawn and her husband, to to try to keep what's left right now moving, you know?
Yep.
I think about that when I see our postal delivery lady every day. It's just like, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
have a friend back when I was teaching over in Georgia. She's a postal delivery person over there, and they got to keep going, you know? And we're grateful for it. So, you know.
Very.
Yeah. So, check in on what we're doing. We don't really have a topic today. We're kind of bouncing off things that have already happened, but check in on stuff that we are working on. Liz, let's go to you first, because
Okay.
I've been making you go first a lot. So what you got? You're still right now. You're stitching on your papillon, right?
I'm stitching on Mary's papillon. I'd shout out to my sister, but she doesn't have time to watch because, you know, she's a school teacher and has 4 kids at home. And, you know, she's doing her virtual classes, making sure the kids do their virtual classes. Oh my gosh.
I can't
even imagine. And so I am over halfway, 16, 17, 18. I'm getting ready to start row 19 on hers. I worked on it quite a bit this weekend.
Very cool.
It's hard to show off. I also worked on my mom's Fall River.
Fall River.
This weekend. We didn't do a whole lot this weekend, so I sat and crocheted. I want to say I got 2 or 3 repeats done, which doesn't look like a whole lot on this, but
it'll start growing though.
It's getting bigger. And I have a noticeable hole now in my puno. So
there you go. That shows the progress, definitely.
Yeah. So, and I also
get that on the website, on the shop website.
The puno, yeah. I also pulled out my other papillons and did like a row of each of those, or you know, back and forth or whatever. Yeah. And I don't have them with me now because really you can't tell that I did anything. But I did do a count of all my papillons, and I have 4 on needles, including this one. So yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And you keep, I was doing like a section or so on my papillon as I could, as I was working on other stuff, and I get it. Like a couple times last week, I was like, I did more, look, and you can't really tell because the longer the rows get, the less you see the progress. But I'm super excited because I finished mine.
I love your papillon.
Well, okay, and so I added this little bit. You can't see the sparkle really on my ancient computer, but I had a little bit of sparkly white left over from the cowl I made, the papillon cowl, and I was like, okay, I'm going for a monarch butterfly. So the oranges, which I love that it turns, like I took one of the skeins that has really stark contrast in this Cascade Heritage Wave, and you recommended I start section 3 with that.
Yeah.
So I got some yellows to the oranges, to like the darkest part, and then it started to get lighter again right at the end. But I'm gonna stand up and back up so you can see the whole thing.
Oh wow, that is like perfect.
I'm trying to. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
And then what? Bend down. I haven't tied any of the ends in yet, and I have not blocked it yet. But if I hold it out, and then you can see here, this. Ta-da! Go ahead.
It looks so cool. So cool.
I have a really nice photo I took of it in my craft area at home. I think the one I'm wearing. Woo! I have a really nice photo of it all laid out on the floor so you can see it on my Instagram feed. It's getting stuck on the ends I haven't woven into this sucker, which I also haven't blocked. But this one, what I'm wearing is crochet, and I think sometimes crochet, when you block it, like it can open up and be nice, and sometimes you can just make do. So I might eventually block this. So what I'm wearing right now is my finished Falling Blossom shawl.
Ooh.
With all its ends hanging off. And it started up here. It's a asymmetrical triangle shawl. So it started here and got bigger. And started, you know, no holes here really, and then a little bit of holes, and then we got flowers at the bottom. And so this one, I was commenting before we came on the air that the asymmetrical ones, because they can tend to be kind of chunkier, they don't have as the long ends. I can easily wrap around when I'm wearing it. Like, yeah. When I'm wearing it this way, it's kind of harder to have edges I can tuck under and have it stay on. I might need a shawl pin to really, I'm going to run around the shop. Oh, look, there's an end. Whereas this one, this is a different kind of triangle shawl where it starts in the center and you increase on the edges and in the center. And so you have much longer edges you can wrap around. Like if I was going to wear this, now I've got two shawls on. This one would stay put a lot easier than the one I'm wearing. Yeah. But, you know, we all decide what we like and how we like making stuff. So, you know, there's all kinds of options as I try not to get my different ends from my two different shawls tangled. So it's not a thing.
No, not a thing.
Yep. So I showed this off last time, but I don't have any needles poking through it this time. My Market Square bag, which hopefully it doesn't give us the exact same thumbnail options it gave us last time because I just held that up. But I'm hoping to get new Cairns colors in because the light color on this, I sold the last skein of last week. And
some of that might be my fault.
Well, you have every right to buy it and make a sweater out of it, which is what you're doing. That's okay.
It's in time out though.
How dare you buy yarn from my shop?
Well, I bogart yarn regularly. It's kind of what
well, it's okay. Then people just want it more because you have bogarted it. True. But no, Knitting Fever called me yesterday and they were like, well, they couldn't deliver it. Like, and it wasn't because my shop was closed, it's because they couldn't get to the shop, which means trees down, probably all over the place. And so hopefully they'll try again today, and then I'll get this color back in, and I'll get some new colors, which might look more like the Ravelry listing options. But contact the shop, and we'll like work up a really cool combo for you, right? So it's a functional thing to work on right now. If you don't want to be working on big heavy knitting or light summery knitting, make something functional that works. Yeah. You know, I mean, for some people right now, they are crafting because it's just the sensory tactile thing is soothing, and it's not like they want to have a product that they can use at the end. They're just doing it to do it. And other people in our very practical society are like, but I have to make something I'm gonna use, otherwise why do it? And for me, both kinds of knitters and crocheters are equally valid. You are going to have your process and your reason why you're doing things right now. And if we can, we'll try to support you in that. Absolutely. So, I mean, that's why I've always loved knitting and crocheting personally, is it's something that's de-stressing and meditative at times if it's a repetitive pattern, but you still have a product at the end, you know? Like, I love that. Whether or not I wear it, like
I wear all of mine. I kind of find it interesting when people make stuff and don't wear their stuff, or you know, like they make it just to make it and say they've done that, but then it sits somewhere and I'm like, wear it, it's so pretty. Or you know, I mean, it's cold out, wear your knit stuff, because you know,
or if it's not your kind of like style, then gift it to someone, you know. If you want to, if you spend a lot of money on it and you don't want to give it away, I totally respect that too. But yeah, it's like I need to get back to my cousin's blanket. I'm trying to make him a blanket for his wedding. And again, functional. Like, I could start working on Christmas presents right now. You know, work ahead on stuff.
Why would you work ahead on stuff?
Yeah, I'm not good at that. I tend to start my Christmas presents around November, like maybe Thanksgiving.
I was just going to say Thanksgiving when you said November, because you don't start them at the beginning.
Well,
like,
I'm busy with other stuff. I had at least one of my knitters say, "Oh my gosh, you must have so much time to knit right now." And I'm like,
No.
what? I'm trying to keep my shop going, which, you know, I forced myself to rest this weekend a lot because I was so tired, which meant part of my version of resting is working on shop samples and knitting, which is why I actually got my papillon done. I managed to poke a hole in my finger while I did it. A couple holes in my thumb, actually, which I haven't done in a long time, which just shows how I have not had time to sit and knit a lot recently. But I think it was the combo of I'm washing my hands so much they're dry. And then I was using teeny tiny sharp needles.
I don't know why you do that.
Pushing and ow. I put a Band-Aid on it once, and Alexander was like, "Did you cut yourself?" I'm like, "No, I poked a hole in my thumb from my knitting."
I don't know why you do that.
I know, and I think that might have discouraged him from continuing to knit, but he's got big chunky needles. They won't do that. So, and I do sell thimbles, leather thimbles here in the shop. But I was at home. So I didn't have it. And I wasn't
at home during a big thunderstorm. You didn't need to go out to the shop.
I know. I wasn't gonna. I'm also, my inventory is kind of low on that item, so I'd rather have it available if someone else needs it. So, you know. But anyway. You're using your hook.
I'm using my hook that you got me in Florida.
Yeah, and I forget if I just got you that as a thoughtful present, or maybe did I also try to combine it that year for your birthday?
Maybe.
Can I tell people?
You could, I guess.
Right at the end here. It's Liz's birthday today. Happy birthday! I'm not making a big deal about it. We're almost at the end of filming, so it's just a yay, happy birthday!
Yay!
Yay! Okay, now we move on. But I hope you have a good day anyway. So, or do something.
I'm gonna
nice
have a good
yourself.
day because I get to bring my boss coffee and.
Yay!
You know,
we get to see each other at a respectful distance today. Woo!
Yay! And next Tuesday, I will have a plethora of boxes to bring you because, like, most of the stuff I keep ordering off of Amazon isn't going to be here until, like, Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, you're reminding me. I have a bunch of boxes in the back of my car from Amazon deliveries and other things that, yeah, I hope to use. That was the craziness about the water over there, is it only damaged a couple pieces of cardboard. Like, I have a huge stack of boxes over on that side of the shop, and they're okay. So I can still mail things in them if I need to. Although a lot of people are ordering stuff I can shove in bubble mailers right now, which is great. But I have the boxes for the bigger orders. So if anyone wants to do a sweater, I got you covered. Anyway.
I was a whole lot further on this row than I thought.
Yeah.
I thought I was, like, before the middle. I just finished a row of bubbles, or the little bubbly. Yeah.
Very awesome. And that's too. One of our knitters is doing a papillon with a puno, with the pink puno. She finished it. Kathleen finished it. Kathleen told. There's a lot of Kathleen.
Yes.
And she sent me a picture, and if I get her permission, I'll put it in the newsletter next week. But it was, so the puno is like 800 meters. It's like, okay, that's Liz's green one. So the papillon, she didn't even get, I think, to the lightest pink. Like, it had 3 variants.
Oh, wow.
It started with the dark, and it got lighter, but it didn't even hit, I think, the 3rd pink. But
I bet that was gorgeous.
I warned her that would happen. She wants to know what other colors of Puno we have in the shop, by the way, today. So, beautiful. One of the more expensive balls of yarn we have in the shop, but it's huge. There's a lot, and it's really nice.
It's the same yardage as two skeins of fingering weight.
Yeah.
So, and
it's still, you know, it's like paying $40 for a skein of fingering weight.
Yeah.
Per skein, you know, but it's nice quality.
I showed this to my mom. Like, so this is what it looks like unblocked.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
a little squishy.
A little squishy. It gets like it floofs up after you've blocked it and worn it. Like, it's even softer and squishier and floofier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just love this yarn. So I showed this to my mom today. I was like, it's your Mother's Day present. Don't wash it.
Yeah. Hand wash. Wash. No machine washing of that. But the Fall River is a great pattern because, like I was saying, for the Papillon that Kathleen made, she didn't go through the whole thing. The Papillon, you can't really make it bigger and adjust it. The Fall River crochet piece, you can keep going. You can keep doing repeats till you run out of yarn. So some patterns you can do that, some you can't.
Yeah. I wound up with 1.5 yards of yarn left from my green Fall River because I just kept going and I weighed it, like put it on a scale.
The scientific version.
Every time I do a row, I'd be like, do I have enough to do the next row? Maybe, but lots of yarn chicken. Yeah.
We need to sign off soon, but I almost forgot. I did start something new.
Yes, you did.
I did. And it's crochet. I'm giving some love to crochet today. So, here, Rachie Newen, who I was wearing one of her pieces last week, and I was talking about I want to start her crochet along together apart. And hang on. I'm trying to make notes so I don't forget because headache brain means I'm not going to remember what we talked about today. So I decided to use this online super sock color. I might have showed it off in a previous email. There's the headache
video.
Video, yes. It's supposed to make stripy socks, and I was like, well, I wonder what it will do with crochet. And I have started. Here is the beginning of the Together Apart shawl. I'm going to hold it back a little bit so you can see. It's going to be a crescent like that.
Ooh.
Which is really cool. Like the first row was all here. And then you're increasing sharply on the edges and not so much in the middle. So it is going to curl out and be this awesome crescent shape, which should nicely drape around my neck to wear like a scarf like I like to.
That's going to look so cool.
It starts with a whole lot of doubles, so it's more, for a crochet, it starts pretty solid. And then it has these lacy sections. And the lacy sections, let me see if I can hold it, have a little crisscross going on in them. Just to give you something interesting to do. And then you go, I've just started this, what's going to be the next solid section. And it's adjustable. You can like decide when you want to change between the solids and lacy to change it up a little bit to make it unique in your own, or you can just follow directions. Now, since I make shop samples, for the 90% of the time, I just follow the directions. Because I want you all to know what's going to happen. But I think that's going to be really, really cool. Look.
I like it.
It's like a little mask on the wrong part of my face.
Well, if you turn it upside down.
What, like, I can't see through that part.
Now you can see through it, and it covers your. Yeah.
Hello. Oh, final parting note as we leave. I've had, a few people reach out to me about masks that are knit or crochet. And do I have any patterns? And I am not going to be promoting knit or crochet masks from Sun Dragon. Like as a, hey, you should make this if you have to wear a mask. I'm advocating, and a lot of this is based on conversations with Liz. because Liz has gotten me ready for every step of the way of all this craziness. I've relied on Liz's advice. But neither of us are doctors, right? Neither of us are medical professionals who know
Did stay in a Holiday Inn Express, you know, before the pandemic,
so,
but that doesn't count.
Yeah, right. So do your research, and on the whole, knitting or crocheting a mask by itself, in our opinions, is not going to work well enough. Because knit and crochet inherently has gaps in it and holes. So by itself, you're still going to breathe lots of particles through them. And even if you knit them super fine, like Liz, you were talking about maybe if you felted it.
I was thinking if you wanted to do a knit or crocheted liner, like to put into a fabric mask, to give you more a denser filter, you could knit or crochet, and I would probably knit it because it would be thinner, 100% feltable wool, but in the thinnest possible, you like fingering weight, felt it down, and then, you know, cut it to fit inside your mask. That would give you a lightweight filter, because, you know, but to do a mask out of felted, to get the sizing right, it would not work well.
So I'm seeing people have shared with me ones that are like knit and they have little I-cord you can tie. I mean, just keep in mind a few things. By its nature, I mean, if you wanted to felt something, that would be more enmeshed, but might be hard to breathe through. Knitting and crochet like this, you know, crochet as tight as you get it is still going to have, like, this section has gaps in it. And then if you make it out of something you felted, then how do you sterilize it? And and then hang on, I don't know, Liz, if you want to contribute. Let me just
on this. Yeah, it's that you gotta keep in mind the sterilizing. Like, if you knit or crochet it and felt it down, can you still wash it, or, you know, sun bleach it or whatever? So there are so many different patterns, but nobody knows how well they work. So, you know, if you do them, do you line them? You know, we just don't. We don't think it's like the best option. So anyway, I don't know where Rebecca wanted me to go with the rest of that. Okay. And she's back.
I'm back, and we're going to wrap up because
there are lots of different options with lining them, but, you know, you don't know how well.
Make sure, but it has to have a lining to be any type of effective. And again, this is our opinion, and we're not medical professionals. And do your research. And whatever you make it out of, make sure it's something you can sterilize by, say, washing it a lot.
Yes.
So like,
or sun bleaching, or
Yes. But again, I recommend the hand sewn ones people are making out of the quilting fabric as the one step down from something really surgical, right? So just be careful. There are a lot of fads out there, and they may not actually be protecting you. That's what I wanted to say. So we have been going for quite a while. It's a longer episode today. We're already a half an hour into my business day, but that's because, you know, craziness. So I got to go call someone back. We love you. We miss you. Even if we haven't met you before, we miss you.
We miss you.
We miss the ability to meet you in person, but we gotta adjust to a new normal. We gotta start figuring out ways to connect to people. If that's watching us, if that's joining virtual knit nights, you find ways to hear people, to see people without endangering yourself, you know, because this could be a while. And I don't say that to like scare people. I say that to say, let's adjust. Let's figure out ways to connect. Yep. And that's why Liz and I are still doing this, because I mean, for me, I firmly believe in that, and I'm dragging her with me every step of the way. And then I get to talk to her. So anyway, okay, because I can never remember. What do we say at the end?
Stay tuned for more adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
Thank you. Yay. Stay home, stay safe, do what you need to. If you need to go out, take precautions, all that good stuff. Lots of love from us. And we'll get this up as soon as we can. Bye.
Bye.
Keep waving. I'm hitting all my buttons. Bye.